Red State Talk Radio. Talk radio the way the Founding Fathers would have done it.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-513-6154. That's 1-800-513-6154. Again, 1-800-513-6154. Call now.
Hey folks, Slickery Trigger here. I'd like to take a minute to tell you about Rebel Road Tactical. As a defensive pistol instructor, I've had the opportunity to observe many different holster designs and configurations. And one thing is clear. Many of my students won't carry a pistol. Or worse, they'll carry one without a holster at all. Holster designers aren't making holsters for normal people. It seems that most holsters are either an expensive piece of gear designed for Rambo or a piece that doesn't fit or function the way real people need it to fit and function. So, like any good Texan, I decided to learn to form Kydex and design one myself, one that would fit the needs of average people. The result is the Rebel Road Tactical CRT Modular. The CRT stands for Carry, Range, and Training. Its thin and lightweight curved design minimizes printing and is adjustable to fit just right for superior comfort and function. Check us out after the show at rebelroadconcealed.blogspot.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so.
Welcome to the Red State Town Hall program. I'm your host, Primo Mondoni. My co-host, Ken Brown, will join me here in a couple of minutes. Please visit the show's website, redstatetownhall.com. While you're there, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter. You can contact us. The email address is primo at redstatetownhall.com. That's Premo, primo at redstatetownhall.com. Our show's broadcast here on Red State Talk Radio, America's premier grassroots conservative internet talk radio network. The show is also syndicated through iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Podomatic, TalkStream Live, Player.fm, Roku, and at least a dozen other websites. You can listen to the station using their Android, iPhone, and BlackBerry apps. Visit the station's website, redstatetalkradio.com, to download the appropriate app for your smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, you can listen using any phone on the station's 24/7 listener line provided by TalkStream Live by dialing the following: for Studio A, 605-562-4209, and for Studio B, 518-712-0045. Before we start the show, let's give a shout-out to our AM, FM, and digital affiliates. WDDQ, FM 92.1, Adel, Georgia. WSFB, 1490 AM, 97.7 FM, Quitman, Georgia. WJNW, AM 1650, Hermitage, Tennessee. Talk Radio AM 1620, KTFL, Gilbert, Arizona. WMQL Radio FM 105.5, Brevard, North Carolina. Coppin County Talk Radio AM 1680, KCTR, Terrell, Texas. Texpro Radio, Gainesville, Georgia. WCNR Digital Broadcast of West Virginia. And K98Talk.com. Now, let's bring on my co-host from Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Ken Brown. Mr. Brown, how you doing today?
Repeat after me. It's Primo Mondoni.
Primo Mondoni. P-R.
There you go. That's who you are.
That's who I am. And you are Ken Brown. And for those interested, Primo Mondoni, that's an Italian name. And Ken, of course, is I'm not sure what the hell that is. Ken Brown. he's an American. So, I'm an American too, but I have Italian heritage in my background. Brown apparently has no heritage.
We all have a heritage in our background.
No, I have Italian heritage in my background. You don't have anything in your background.
Well, yeah, it's a mix, but yeah, there's stuff in there.
Yeah, you're a mutt. That's what you are. You're a mutt.
Yeah, Irish, Scottish.
Is that what that is? Brown, Irish, and Scottish?
French.
Could be.
Yeah, it's got actually my sister-in-law did a thing all to go back, and
genealogy deal, whatever.
Yeah, and she traced us back, or one side of the family, all the way back to the islands between England and France, and back in the day, they weren't English or French. They were kind of to own their own, independent or whatever.
Well, that explains why you have such a common name like Brown. It's
maybe so. Who knows?
Because they didn't know where the hell they belonged.
We still don't.
Okay, let's get started. Enough of foolishness. Let's talk about. By the way, last week we had about 8 stories we covered, and there was about 6 of them about Hillary, and we've only got a couple or so this week. So everybody will be glad for that. But we will talk about Hillary a little bit later. And but there's other stuff in the news that we need to talk about. Number one, this sheriff's deputy in Houston that was murdered execution style at this gas station. And by execution style, I mean the guy had no chance whatsoever. This jerk walks up to him behind his back and just starts shooting him. And once
it was an ambush.
Yeah, it's an ambush. And once he's down on the ground, he shoots him more and shoots him in the head. I mean, and the guys had no chance whatsoever. And it was unprovoked. I mean, it wasn't like there was any kind of an altercation or anything, Ken. It was just...
He was pumping gas.
He was pumping gas in his patrol car. Or I think it's a patrol car. I really don't know off the top of my head.
He was in uniform.
He was in uniform, so it's obvious that he was a deputy sheriff for this county. And this... now, here's one thing that drives me crazy. In the initial news reports, they said that the perpetrator, according to the TV cameras, was a dark-skinned individual, dark-skinned man.
Jeez.
Well, dark-skinned man could mean that he could be black, he could be Hispanic, he could be whatever.
Just have a good tan.
Yeah, he could have a good tan. From the video I saw, it's absolutely 100%, without a doubt, positive he's a black guy. Now this,
but they won't say that.
They won't say that. Maybe they are now, but initially they wouldn't do it, and that stuff drives me crazy. This politically correct crap drives me nuts.
And you are not alone. It drives me nuts. And guess what? Why is Donald Trump, why is Ben Carson in the lead? And it's because of this PC crap. That's mostly what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to this particular incident, I blame this entirely on Barack Hussein Obama. He has fostered this divisive culture that we have, and he's made it. I mean, think about all the stuff that happens, and like, for example, this deal where, I mean, nobody from the White House is talking about this incident at all, because a black person perpetrated a crime on a white person, and they don't have problems with that kind of stuff. They never do. It's when but they perpetrate this whole theory that cops are racist and are out to get the black guy. And the facts just don't support the stupid theory. I mean, it just does not. And I'm so sick of this. I am so sick of this. And I am so sick of this president and this administration and the way they deal with everything. It just, And this poor guy's dead for no damn reason at all, other than he was in law enforcement. And I wonder, would this guy have done what he did if Barack Hussein Obama and Eric Holder and a whole damn bunch hadn't stirred up all this crap over the last several years? I'm sorry, I don't think so.
He's done more to divide this country when there was so much promise in 2008 when he was elected, so that, you know, the first quote unquote black man was elected president, and you think now the racial divide, what is there, will dissipate even more.
Yeah.
But I wish we'd go back in time, 2008, and go and take a snapshot of the racial, you know, how the racial divide was then and what it is now, because it's like a Grand Canyon.
There's a really good book there for somebody to write.
Yeah.
If you sit there and take all the stats and all the information you had before Barack Hussein Obama came on the scene, and then take it after he leaves office, I think, like you said, it was going to be a Grand Canyon of difference. It's going to be unbelievable how far back we've gone with race relations in this country because of this guy in office.
He's, you know, a leader is so much more. It shows you what the bully pulpit can really do, you know?
Yeah. For good or bad.
Yeah. And just him being, if something happens in the news, just him being quiet, if he doesn't say anything about it, if he just lets it go, and if it's a bad thing, by him not saying anything about it, it actually gets bigger.
It's almost like he condones it.
Yes, and he does, I think. And plus, it throws, if he's not doing what he should be doing, you know, he gets a pass. You know, it's like, here's what's going on in the world, in the country. Well, let's let that simmer a little bit, because it takes away from what I'm doing. Nobody's going to focus on what I'm doing, and I'm going to get my agenda done, and they can, you know, let the race thing just happen. Who cares?
Well, you know, I think a president, for the most part, should keep his nose out of all this kind of stuff. The only time the president should even address an issue like this is if he's giving a speech that next day. He should say something like, "Our hearts and prayers are with the families of the fallen police officer," and shut up.
Yeah.
Don't politicize the thing.
That's it.
And vice versa. You know, doesn't matter whose side you're on, doesn't matter whether it's white, black, whatever. You always should acknowledge the family that has lost a loved one, because even if you're asked, but that should be the limit of your comments, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know the facts. You don't know what the local police and the local people in that area know about the situation. You should just shut up. And other than offering condolences, that should be the limit of a president's involvement in any type of local type issue like that. I just don't.
But this guy doesn't do that, Primo.
No, if he sees an opportunity, he jumps right in. I mean,
yes, I mean the Charleston thing is a perfect example of that, and that the black preacher who was also a state senator or something, and he went down there and he turned that eulogy into a political platform.
Well, and another incident happened this past week too. Was this horrible incident with this black guy who happens to be gay, and I'm not sure, he guns down this reporter and her cameraman, shoots the person they're interviewing, she survives. Yet I don't hear a single person label that as a hate crime.
Nope. Well, there wasn't even a talk of his being black.
Initially, I'm sure that's probably true. At this point, everybody knows. But I mean, again, that goes back to what the entire point when I was bringing up, where they start trying to hide. It's like when someone who is a Muslim commits a crime or a terrorist act, they don't mention they're Muslim. They don't mention they're from the Middle East. They don't mention any of that kind of stuff. They don't mention that they're a member of the Islamic faith. However, in the story, if they mention the person's name and his name happens to be Muhammad Abdul whatever, what's going on.
Yeah.
But they don't mention that as if it doesn't exist. It's just stupid.
That's the media. That's what we deal with.
Yeah.
But if you turn it around, though, had that been a black reporter and a cameraman, and that had been a white guy.
Oh, I know.
That would have been the first thing. White man guns down black reporter.
Yeah, while he's wearing a.
Oh yeah, they would be searching for a Confederate flag.
Yeah, exactly. A Confederate flag T-shirt in his house or something. I mean, all that kind of crap.
Yeah,
just it's good. I get so sick and tired of this kind of crap. It's just. Anyway, hey, let's bring up something totally separate. Has nothing to do with all this stuff, except it does have to do with the election. I read a story. I don't know if you saw this or not, Ken. It actually wasn't a story. It was actually a video. I think it was on Fox News, I believe. Did you know that DHS, Department of Homeland Security, has sent out 9 million letters to all the green card holders in this country, suggesting that they go and become naturalized U.S. citizens before the 2016 elections. Now, normally we have about 1 million people, roughly, that get naturalized each year and become U.S. citizens. So the government, the DHS, is sending out letters to all 9 million green card holders, encouraging them to become naturalized citizens before the 2016 elections. That's more than 10 years worth of normal naturalization in just 1 year. Now, if anybody who thinks that this whole open borders policy and this whole thing of letting all these people in and the whole thing of if they don't think it's all about getting Democratic votes, they're nuts.
Yeah.
This proves it. I mean, if this is the only piece of evidence you had, what else do you need?
You know what I hate about that is that it doesn't matter if it puts our country in jeopardy or in harm's way or in danger of terrorists, filtering through the border.
Of course.
It doesn't matter because number one is we have to get the votes.
Yeah. And they don't care who they come from. And most of these people, a lot of these people that, they're just creating a new lower class in this country, a servile class. And the people who are supposedly benefiting from this should be the first people to be upset about this because it's real crystal clear as to what they're doing and why they're doing it. They don't care anything about these people. They just want their votes. And they know that because of their policies, most of these people are going to vote for the party of Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
The one that is willing to basically buy their votes with benefits. And I'll tell you what, we're losing our country right in front of our eyes, and I don't even know if we can do anything about it other than
I think this
build
next
a damn wall. That would help.
Well, this next election is going to be.
It's our last chance, I think.
Well, a couple things is who we elect to get in there, and how we stem the tide and turn this thing back towards the real America. Because you're right, we're being watered down, we're being diluted, and at some point you lose your country when it gets too much.
Well, if you think about it, traditional American values will be, like you said, diluted. That's a good word. They'll be diluted because you'll have all these people who are in this country now who don't even care if they're United States citizens or not, really, to be honest with you. They just want what the United States has to offer in terms of jobs, money, benefits, etc. They could care less about becoming a part of our culture. Matter of fact, what they would like to do is to make the U.S. more like the culture they came from. Think about all the people from the Middle East. They start talking about they want Sharia law, they want this, they want that. And you get the people who come across the border, the Mexicans, the Guatemalans, the Central American people, South America. They want to instill their own culture into our culture, and I'm sorry, but that's just not the way the hell it's supposed to work. And I don't know. I don't even know if we're going to be able to stop this, even if we do get, quote, the right person in office, because Congress and the Senate have already proven they're not going to do what the hell they say they're going to do. That's another thing that people do not understand. This should be a wake-up call for the GOP. If they don't understand that the American people, those who are conservatives, have literally abandoned them, all you got to do is look at Jeb Bush's poll numbers versus Donald Trump. Bush was, in the lead. Trump was trailing. Now Trump is kicking butt. And Bush is in the also ran category. He's in the middle of the pack now. And by the way, his campaign is just about falling apart. He's starting to have some problems. Let's go ahead and move on to that real quick. There's an article from the National Journal on RedStateTalkRadio.com that says, you still think the Jeb Bush and versus Hillary Clinton thing is happening. And their point was, it's looking more and more like that's not going to be the case. Originally everybody thought it was going to be Bush versus Clinton. And we were all dreading that. And now it looks like that's probably not going to happen at all. Bush is, like I say, is in the middle of the pack now. He's already had 3 of his people in his campaign quit just the last couple of days, and they were people out there raising money for him and stuff, and they quit because I think they see that the writing on the wall that he's not going to make it, and so they're trying to land somewhere else. That's the thing about political campaigns. If they think you're in trouble, I mean, it's like rats off a sinking ship, man. They start bailing on you, and they start trying to find who's the hot guy. And I would guess they're trying to get in with Trump right now, except Trump doesn't need campaign money. So, whatever. Also, there was an Iowa poll that came out today, and we'll touch briefly on this, then we got some other stuff we want to talk about. Back in May, Hillary had the thing kind of wrapped up. She was at 57%, Bernie Sanders was at 16%. Well, guess what? The new Iowa poll came out this morning. Hillary's at 37%, Sanders at 30%. She's lost a third of her support in, 3 months?
As she should.
Well, as she should. And to be honest with you, if all these revelations keep coming out about the emails, it should go down further. And I don't think, we talked about this briefly before we went on the air, I don't think it's necessarily everybody so hot for Bernie Sanders as much as he's the only alternative, really. Martin O'Malley, we'll talk about him a little bit later. He's not doing so hot, and Joe Biden hadn't decided if he's coming in yet or not. So really, it's a 2-horse thing. If you Sanders and Hillary. So naturally, Sanders is going to move up in polls because there's those people that directly came straight from Hillary's campaign.
Isn't it funny? He's a self-professed socialist. and and he's made that much ground on a female that thinks that she's going to get to be president all because she's a female. That's really her platform, because she has nothing to run on, and she's trying to sidestep all the email issues and the Benghazi issues, and she can't do it. And everybody thinks she's a liar, and she is.
Well, on top of being a liar, she's just a bad politician. She does not understand that some of the things she says are offensive to people. I mean, she's getting kind of snotty. When she's getting questions, she's not handling them properly. She is not Bill Clinton. We've said that I don't know how many times. She is not. Bill Clinton is a wiggle worm, man. It's hard to pin him down on anything. He can come up with all kinds of stuff to get his butt out of the crack. Hillary Clinton seems to just fall deeper in the crack.
Well, she called the Republican Party terrorists.
Yeah.
I mean, what? I mean, I don't know if she's doing this just to redirect people's attention away from her.
I think that's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not working.
I don't think it is. And then Barack Obama the other day said that opponents of the Iran deal are the crazies. This was in the Political article that I posted. So if you're against Planned Parenthood dicing up and slicing up babies, selling their organs, you're a terrorist. And if you oppose the Iranian deal, you're crazy. Isn't that pretty much what that's what they're telling us, right?
Yeah.
Here's another thing too about the whole abortion thing. People who are for or pro-choice, they always talk about it's not a baby, it's just a clump of cells, blah 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 blah, and all that kind of stuff. Well, if that were true, how is it that you abort the babies and you start selling off livers, lungs, hearts? If it was a clump of cells, the clump of cells does not have liver, lungs, and hearts. Do they? So that shows that there's something of value in that, quote, fetus, correct? It's something they can make money off of. It's something that someone needs. When you start getting organ donations from something that's supposedly not alive, how does that make sense at all? I defy anyone to come up with logic that explains that.
That's another way. Nothing. I don't think they can redirect. I think people are pretty much hit in the face with this one. You can't sidestep this issue.
No, this is. I'm so glad these videos came out, because this actually shows the real face of what's going on in this country when it comes to abortion. And I think it's turning a lot of people's stomachs. I know it is mine. And of course, I was pro-life to begin with, but if I ever had any doubt about being pro-life, I don't anymore. Okay, let's go to break. It's time for a break. Thank you for listening to Red State Town Hall program. We'll be back in just a few moments. Stick with us.
Red State Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Hi, this is Jeff Carlisi from the band 38 Special. The mainstream media has failed the American people once again. Internet radio networks like Red State Talk Radio will not fail you. Tune in 24 hours a day. Studios A and B. Great conservative programming around the clock. Red State Talk Radio, the dominant force in Internet conservative talk radio.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom36.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom36.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 36.com. Go to freedom36.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom36.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-400-1756 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-400-1756 to take your call now. Call 800-400-1756. That's 800-400-1756. Again, 800-400-1756.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now, and in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 93.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking Nobetes, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just one day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobetes isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobetes now. Call 800-554-7159 and get 2 bottles free. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-554-7159. That's 800-554-7159.
Hi, this is Primo Mondoni, General Manager for Red State Talk Radio. We've been bringing you the very best in grassroots, common sense, conservative talk radio for over 5 years now. One thing I've learned in those 5 years is that internet radio is a tough, competitive business. And if the station is going to advance that next level, it's going to require a significant increase in investments in both personnel and infrastructure. Our listenership grew by 42% in 2014, and with our ever-expanding listener base, it's time that we begin the move to a more listener-supported model to provide the station's future financial needs. Therefore, we're asking our loyal listeners to consider making a donation to help us reach our goals. Monthly subscriptions begin at only $2 per month. So please, help us restore conservative principles to our republic. Visit our website and become a Red State Talk Radio supporter today.
Red State Talk Radio. The Talk Monster.
The path to restoring our republic was laid down by our founding fathers. The principles of freedom, liberty, personal responsibility, and limited government are conservative ideals we will never abandon. America is listening. Grassroots, common sense, conservative talk radio. It's on the internet. Tune in now. Red State Talk Radio, featuring some of the most popular internet talk show hosts in America today. Are you listening? RedStateTalkRadio.com.
Okay, we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. This is the Red State Town Hall. My name is Primo Mondoni. I'm your host, and my co-host is Mr. Ken Brown. He's now in Atlanta. I'm up here in Tennessee. And through the marvels of technology, we're able to do this show in 2 different cities. So, well, Atlanta's a city. I'm not really in a city. I'm in a town, really. So,
well, I'm not in the city. I'm on the outskirts of the city.
Well, you're a suburb of the city, I guess. Yeah. So, what about this deal with China this past week where Chinese stocks went through the bottom of the floor and the dollar started tumbling, and the U.S. stock market last week and a half has really taken a big hit. What's your thoughts on that, Ken? Is that to be expected, or did this surprise you, or
what are you asking me? Is it surprising that China's got that effect on us?
Well, that or that the house of cards is finally starting to crumble.
I don't. This is we've become more and more a global market, and like Greece, when there's just talk of something happening in Greece, it affects our market.
Yeah.
Now that when China, it wasn't talk, they were actually plunging, and it just ripped us a new one for the last 4 or 5 days in a row. And that's scary. That type of even when things are solid here and the dollar is solid here, as far as relatively compared to China, that's it. It makes you take a breath, because I think we're seeing a different world now than we did even 5 years ago.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, the world economy is globally interconnected now. You can't really separate one from the other, because we have so much trade between one another, and because we have a huge trade deficit with China. But because they manipulate their currency and they do all kinds of funny business to benefit themselves, they went probably a little too far and a little too quick, and now they're in trouble. And, of course, that causes trouble for everyone else. And in the United States, in our stock market's been actually really good under Barack Obama, but that's only because of the quantitative easing that's been going on, where all the money has been printed and essentially put into the economy, and it's all fake. It's a big. It's not real, and if you want to know that it's not real, all they have to do is when the Fed announced they may stop doing the quantitative easing, and they might actually start raising the interest rates to what they should be, the market started panicking a few weeks ago, and then when the Fed kind of backed off, the market started increasing again, and then when the China thing happens, boom, it goes back down again, pretty significantly too. Matter of fact. I mean, the Dow lost over 1,000 points in one day.
Right. Those out there that have a 401k, they knew exactly what happened.
Yeah. I mean, one thing when you have IRAs and 401ks, you're not supposed to look at week to week, month to month. You're supposed to look at year to year kind of thing. But if you have a IRA or a 401k that's primarily funded with stocks, whether it be a mutual fund or whatever, when something like this happens, you cannot help but go pull up your last statement from your 401k and look at the balance, and then figure out the balance today and realize you just lost. In theory, you lost a lot of money real quick, just in a day or two. That's scary. Scary. Jeez.
It is.
Okay.
Now that you brought me down from abortion and the stock market, what else you want to tell me, Fredo?
Well, let's kind of liven it up a little bit. Let's talk about something that might be a positive. Well, in a way it is. Two or three things. Let's talk about the presidential race. Joe Biden. Politico says he's not going to run. He's thinking about it, but he's just not going to run. That's according to their Democratic insiders. That's what they're saying. They polled 10 people who were supposedly really know what the hell's going on. I'm not sure who the hell the 10 people were, but they did. 8 of them said they don't think he's going to run. Now, of course, as we know, in the press, when they start gathering up experts to give their opinion, half time they're right. I mean, it's 50-50. Who the hell knows? Joe Biden may not even know what he's going to do yet. Is Biden going to run, or is he? Or this is all just a bunch of hooey? Just a. What do you think?
I was going to ask you the same thing. 1 minute I hear, oh, he's running. He's running.
Yeah.
Hillary's sinking like a ship. And then I hear another thing saying he's not running. He's not going to run. Yeah. He has no money. He has no structure. Nothing's in. He's got no base. Nothing. I think he's crazy not to run.
Well, you may be right.
If I was him, I'd jump right in because she's sinking.
Well, let me throw a little cold water on the whole thing. Here's the thing. If you're going to run for president of the United States, you have to declare and get your name on the ballots, I think, by September, sometime in September. Here we are. This is August, 30th, I think? Something like that. Whatever.
Yeah, it's almost September.
It's almost September. So, basically, he doesn't have much time. If he's going to do this, he needs to pull the trigger pretty darn quick. And if he doesn't, let's say, for example, Joe Biden does not pull the trigger, okay? So now you still have Hillary, Bernie Sanders, Martin O'Malley, right? So let's say we get past September, no one else can really even have an opportunity to run for president because they will not have all the paperwork necessary to run, right? And let's say Hillary totally tanks. Something comes out with whether it be Benghazi, the emails, whatever, and she has to leave the race. So now what do you got? You got Bernie Sanders and Martin O'Malley. Does Martin O'Malley suddenly have resurgence, or does Bernie Sanders just totally sweep and just get all that gravy?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think you need somebody to get in now. Somebody that can take
her
take
place.
The spoils. Yeah, take the spoils away from Hillary because she won't be around. Primo, you said it. I've said it. She's not going to be there.
Yeah.
Nobody trusts her.
I don't think she will. I mean, I think if she makes it through the holidays, I'll be absolutely dumbfounded if she makes it through the holidays.
I think she needs Biden needs to get in because he's nutty as a fruitcake, but he
better than Bernie Sanders.
He is fun to watch. He's fun to listen to because he's such a crazy politician.
He's your crazy uncle, is what he is.
He is. I mean, he's nuts, but you like him anyway.
Yeah, he's very likable, by the way. He's a likable guy, unlike Hillary. Hillary is not likable. Hillary is like, what is that stuff? What is that stuff they used to give kids in the old days for ailments? Cod liver oil or something like that. Or whatever. That's what Hillary is. Joe Biden is like it's like candy. It's like Flintstone vitamins, whatever. He's.
The one that flashes in my memory the quickest is when he tells the guy in the wheelchair, he says, "Oh, stand up and take a bow."
Yeah.
He's God love you. It's like,
the one that sticks out in my mind, honestly, that's one of them. But another one he did when he was talking about World War II and the Germans bombing Pearl Harbor. Do you remember that one?
I forgot about that one.
Well, what's so funny about the Germans bombing Pearl Harbor? That was a line in that movie 1941 with John Belushi when he talks about, and plus in Animal House or something. I think wasn't there a thing in Animal House when he's talking about the Germans bombing Pearl Harbor?
Yeah.
And everybody goes, and one of the guys goes like, that didn't happen. And one of the guys goes, don't worry, he's on a roll, let him go.
He's on a roll.
But Joe Biden, the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor.
You would think the vice president would know his history.
Well, at least better than that. I mean, I don't expect him to know every little thing.
At least to know who bombed us, on our own soil. That kind of not want to know that.
Yeah, that was well, whatever. Okay. Secondly, Martin O'Malley is really pissed off. There's a New York Times article where he is railing against the Democrats and the Democratic National Committee about the debate schedule being rigged to aid Hillary Clinton. And basically what he's saying is they're going to have just a handful of debates, and the idea is to protect Hillary because you don't want to have her in a debate because if someone might kick her butt. And that's the Democrat Party doesn't want that to happen. They've already made their mind up who they want to win this thing. I mean, that's, it's kind of like the GOP. If the people that ran the GOP had their way, we just go ahead and announce Jeb Bush, right now. But thank God they don't have their way on this, and thank God, whether or not Donald Trump is real or not, and and I got some problems with Donald Trump, but boy, he sure is showing people how you can do things and not be so dadgum politically correct and make some waves. I mean,
I like it. I just, if nothing else, in the way it's brought Bush down.
Yeah.
In the polls, he's not the second in the, Ben Carson's number 2, and how he's come up, and Cruz has come up.
Cruz has come up. Carly Fiorina's come up. By the way, Carly, she is upset about this CNN debate criteria. She's asking the Republican National Committee to intervene because it may be that this is crazy, but she may not be on the debate stage in the CNN debate in September because the criteria they're using, Ken, they're using polls. Most of the polls that they're going to be using are polls before the first debate when she was like really polling low. But it's obvious that after the first debate, I mean, she's had a big surge, and she's polling well. But when you add, what they're going to do the averages, when you throw in all those polls before the first debate, and then throw in a handful of polls after the debate, she may not make the cut. And that I'm telling you what, I know that the rules have been set, and they have been set for months. But what I'm getting at is she needs to be on that stage.
That's a travesty. They don't put her on stage. She's proven her worth.
She's proven her worth, and she's proven she needs to be on stage. And here's the thing: the RNC says, "Oh, we can't do that. We got to be fair to everybody. These are the rules, whatever." Well, let me ask you something. Why the hell is CNN and their criteria of who should be on the debate, whether or not the polling's before or after, why the hell should they decide who the hell is going to be on that debate stage? They're the people who are conducting the debate, but this is the Republican Party. The GOP should step in and go, look, we're going to decide who's going to be on this damn debate stage, and she's going to be on it. But you know what? I don't think they want her on there. They're hoping that, of course, they want Bush on there, and they're hoping that Trump screws up and Bush is able to make a comeback. If Carly Fiorina's on the stage, let me tell you something. Carly Fiorina's not going to screw up. She's smart. She's intelligent. I mean, she's well thought in her process and the way she explains things. And I don't know of a single person who's actually heard her speak or listened to her for any length of time that is not impressed. You cannot help but be impressed by this woman.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if CNN doesn't want just what you just said the GOP wants.
Exactly. And because CNN, we know that they lean to the left, they don't want a woman rising her head up in the Republican race, because even if Hillary survives all the mess she's in, if Hillary survives, and let's say Carly Fiorina were to make it to the top of the Republican party and get the nomination, Hillary versus Fiorina would kick her butt.
Yeah, I so much want to see that. I so much want to see them sit down with each other. Wouldn't you?
Oh God, yes. Of course, I'd like to see Cruz take on Hillary. I'd like to see, you just name.
You're right, but Carly has called her a liar. I mean, who's used that word, liar?
She's been more critical of Hillary than anybody, bar none.
Yeah, and she's taking a lot of heat on it. And the guy says, this is strong. You're calling her a liar, and Carly says she is. Well, she said about this and this, that, and that. She's a liar.
Yeah. Whatever Hillary says, 3 weeks later, you prove that basically what she said was a lie. Almost anything she says. It might take
I would love to see those two on the stage together.
Oh God, yeah. And
then because the moderator's going to say, "You've called Hillary a liar," and Carly's going to say, "Yes, I did," and she did in this case, this case, this case, and this case, and then let her go at it.
Hillary squirms. See how she can.
Yeah. God, that'd be fun to watch.
Well, see, the mainstream press will not call her a liar, even though she's lied to their face too. Like, I don't understand that. I do not get that. If I were a reporter...
Because they've chosen sides, that's why.
Well, I know, but I mean, God, you would think that you'd have a little bit more integrity than that.
Nope.
But
yeah, you would
not.
think.
You would think.
Yeah. Wouldn't that make a whole lot of sense? A journalist having integrity, huh?
Well, if I were a journalist, I'd be thinking, I want to Pulitzer Prize, damn it, and I want to expose this witch for what she is, and I would go after her. And you know what? I'd go after anybody. If I wanted to kind of make my bones, I'd go after Donald Trump. I'd go after whoever I thought I could go after. And Hillary Clinton is, you talk about low hanging fruit. Good Lord. There's stuff there. I mean, you can make your own, you can make your career covering Hillary Clinton.
But I think that's the problem with that is you're not going to have a job long.
No, well, yeah.
They're gonna take you out of that mainstream. You won't be the upper echelon of reporters. They're gonna put you somewhere and cover you up, and you may have a job, but you won't be in front of the camera.
Yeah, I would just love to see. I want to see somebody just give Hillary the business. I mean, really big. And I know that Cruz is nominee; he'll do it. Now, again, this assumes Hillary makes it to the process, but I'm telling you, if she, let me say this, if she makes it and gets a nomination of the Democratic Party, we are really screwed in this country. If a crook like her can get that far, and she should already have been forced to resign. If the media did their job, she'd already be out of the race months ago. She'd be looking at time, I think. Well, anybody else would probably be doing the perp walk right now. They'd be in the orange jumpsuit. Yeah, and as she should be. Yeah. Oh, but I'm with you. I don't see how. I really think that her being the nominee for the Democratic Party is our best offense because nobody trusts her. Well, you're probably right. One thing about Carly Fiorina, real quick. I hope that she makes the debate even when the rules are screwed up as they are. And the reason I do is this. I think if she makes that debate stage, she's going to only improve. She's not going to go down the polls. She's going to go up the polls. And maybe we'll see a shifting there. What I'd like to see after the second debate is maybe Trump's still there. Maybe he's not, depending on how well he performs, I guess. But there's a certain core of people that are going to like Trump no matter what he does, I guess, so to a certain point. But what I'm getting at is what I want to see at the top tier, I want to see maybe Trump, for example, then Carson, Cruz, and Fiorina. Those four right there. And the rest of them at that point should just get the hell out. As far as I'm concerned. Well, Bush will be in there for the long haul because he got money. Yeah, he's got money. He can last, and it doesn't matter how unpopular he gets and how far down the polls he gets. It's just whether or not he wants to waste the money. Don't you know the Republican Party and Jeb Bush, and the so-called establishment Republicans? Don't you know that they're just shaking their heads, going, "What is going on?" Well, I tell you exactly what's going on is they have lied to the American people enough. The American people are damn sick and tired of it. Well, but what I'm saying is that Jeb Bush hadn't done that, No, but he's so for a while. Yeah, but the thing is he is so identified with the establishment. Yeah, nobody wants any part of him. I don't know a single person except for one guy that we both know, a buddy of ours, Kermit, who has any positive feelings at all toward Jeb Bush. Everybody I know thinks that he would be the worst possible candidate. Well, yeah, because we're strong conservatives, and we know that he's not conservative. But that's what I like about Bush. That's what I like about Carson, Fiorina. You said Bush, Carson, Fiorina? Sorry, I mean Bush. I like about Carson, Cruz, Fiorina. There we go. Those thanks. But because they are anti-establishment. Yeah, even though Cruz is a senator, he is. Yeah. He is, but people know
They know when he says something, he tries to do it.
Yeah,
he does. It's not just lip service.
Imagine that, to do what you say you're going to do when you get.
Yeah, imagine that.
You run for office and you actually try to do what you said you were going to do. Imagine that.
Yeah, we're ticked off in this country, and that's why Trump is where he is. That's why Carson's where he is. That's why Fiorina is. We're talking about her.
Yeah.
That's why Cruz is gained in popularity. I don't you know that Cruz is just he is just waiting, chomping at the bit, hoping that when Trump does go away, which I think he will. I think you and I both think that's I don't see Trump going the long haul, but I could be wrong. But I think Cruz is going to be the beneficiary of that.
Well, he'll be one of them at least. Yeah, he'll get his share of the votes there. But I'm thinking Fiorina would be too, because here's one thing that she has in common with Trump: she's a businesswoman. Cruz is a politician; he's a senator, and Rubio's a senator. Carson, of course, is not. But
Fiorina is also female.
Fiorina's female, and she's a business person, and she is smart.
She is.
And when it comes to, if we're just going to pick them off of looks, if Fiorina and Hillary, I'm voting for Fiorina just because she looks a hell of a lot better. Hillary's damn ugly. There's no way.
You can't go a whole show without that, can you?
No, I can. That woman is dog ugly. I'm telling you, she is. She is.
The true Primo Mondoni comes out every show. If you just wait long enough, you're gonna hear it.
Well, the phrase is "coyote ugly." We've talked about that before. It's like if you go to a bar and you wind up with a woman and you wake up in the next morning and you got a woman in your arm and she looks like Hillary, you're like a coyote. You'll chew your own arm off to get out of there. On that note, I think we're done.
I don't know if I can.
Can you take us out, Ken, or can you?
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. Ronald Wilson Reagan, our 40th president of these United States.
That's it. We're out of here. We'll see you next time.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Alright folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. Again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you. So make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.